Whenever something new and revolutionary is introduced, some memes have to be made about it. So that's just my attempt at some light-hearted humor. But on a serious note, RBI has introduced a new method of making payment, the e-rupee. It's digital, it's revolutionary, and it has the potential to change our entire financial system in India. The only question on everyone's mind is, will it be accepted by Indians who already have so many convenient options? Or will it be like the RuPay card payment system introduced few years ago, which was literally forced upon us? Let's take a look. And guys, if such videos interest you, please do hit that like and subscribe button for the latest updates. Firstly, I'd like to start off by stating the obvious. RBI doesn't like the idea of cryptocurrencies. It's constantly discouraging our citizens from using it. They believe the decentralized nature of cryptos pose a threat to monetary policy and may even create a parallel economy. And they even say cryptos can facilitate money laundering and terror financing. I mean, come on, which centralized authority is going to support a decentralized architecture? But this hasn't stopped RBI from implementing the same blockchain technology in their latest innovation, the digital rupee. And I'll explain later how this technology helps RBI. So, the central bank digital currency or CBDC or the digital rupee is actually the very same rupee notes you have in your pocket, but in digital form. It'll even be released in the exact same denomination as those notes and coins you have, so that it can maintain the same level of trust and experience, and it'll be accepted more easily. So instead of printing money, now the RBI issues money in electronic form. This digital money has the same features as hard currency and will act as a medium of payment, legal tender, and safe store of value. They are issued and backed by RBI and is a liability on RBI's balance sheet. The same as currency notes. But I don't need to bore you with all this trivial theory. Let's dive straight into the important stuff. The objective of RBI is to keep its CBDC as similar and make it as convenient to use as physical cash. So the first hurdle they had to clear was of privacy. See, when you give someone a 500 rupee note, there's no record made of it. RBI, your bank, or even the income tax department doesn't know of this. And that's the best part. Transfers of digital rupee is anonymous as well. So you can give money to anyone from a wallet on your phone and no one will know about it, not even your bank. And that's where it's different from UPI. If you're transferring money from one UPI wallet to another, the money is debited from your account and your bank knows about it. But if you're transferring money from one e-rupee wallet to another, it can't be traced. That's the magic of decentralized blockchain technology. And that's only one magic. There's more as well, but later. CBDC was created to complement rather than compete or replace our current forms of payment. This is how our payment systems have evolved. ECS or Electronic Clearing System, where recurring payments were automatically debited from your account, was started in the early 2000s. RTGS came into effect in 2004, followed by NEFT in 2005. IMPS, where money was debited instantly, was introduced in 2010. And finally we progressed to UPI in 2016. Today in 2022, we're at the cusp of another revolutionary payment system. Another advantage of CBDC is that we can use it without internet also. They're working on a way where we can transfer money to one another through a Bluetooth-like mechanism. Of course, you'll need internet to periodically reload or redeem your CBDC balance in your wallet, but you don't need it for every transaction. Another point is you don't even need a bank account. Just a phone and an Aadhaar card to get started. So imagine, millions of Indians who don't have bank accounts can still reap the benefits of digital transaction. Imagine this scenario, somewhere up in the mountains of Himachal Pradesh or Leh Ladakh, where it's very tough to transport money on a regular basis, through ATMs or otherwise, and internet is also an issue. All you need is one person with enough e-rupees and they could literally run a small village and facilitate transactions between everyone. So in short, two people with no bank account, no third-party app, no internet can still make a transaction with each other using CBDC technology. Fascinating, isn't it? Also, did you know India is the world's largest recipient of foreign remittances? Our people working abroad sent back $87 billion worth of money to their families in 2021. And we have a large Indian diaspora spread across the world. The cost of sending this remittance back to India is a lot. Even businesses sending money back and forth between countries get stuck. Firstly, because it takes 3 to 5 working days for the payment to go through, and secondly, because of the cost. Imagine the charges on a transfer of 100 crores. That in itself turns out to be 3 to 4 crores. And imagine having to wait for 3 to 5 days. There's an opportunity cost for all this working capital. But CBDCs, especially if we integrate ours with CBDCs of other countries, can facilitate faster, cheaper and more transparent cross-border payments. Also, on a separate note, please be aware that CBDC balance in your wallet will not attract interest. As in, you won't receive interest on your e-rupee. Same as cash money, right? If you convert the digital currency into fixed deposits, then you'll receive interest. Okay, so this was how CBDC will benefit us at an individual level. This type of CBDC, yes, there are two types, is called CBDC Retail, where this currency can be used to pay for things, e-commerce transactions, send money to friends and family, and even to receive subsidies and incentives from the government for the poor. But there's one more type of CBDC, the wholesale type, which will be used by banks and financial institutions to buy and sell financial assets and for settlement of big payments between themselves. Here, obviously, the RBI cannot allow the same privacy feature where payments are anonymous, like they did with retail CBDC. And this type of CBDC has the potential to transform our entire financial system. You would have recalled once Russia invaded Ukraine, the most crippling sanction imposed on them was America removed them from the SWIFT international payment system, and they couldn't pay or receive money via this channel, which was a big blow to them. It's payment systems of this magnitude that CBDCs have the potential to change. As of July 2022, there are 105 countries in the process of exploring their own versions of CBDCs. These countries combined account for 95% of global GDP. And do you know which one of them is leading? Well, of course, China. China was the first large economy to pilot a CBDC in April 2020 and aims for widespread domestic use of its e-yuan by 2023. So what benefits do these digital currencies hold for governments? As it turns out, a lot. The most interesting one is a feature called smart contracts. This is a play on the blockchain technology. What RBI can do is set conditions. For example, they can say that a subsidy in the first year will be 10%, then it will reduce by 2% every year. So while making payment with digital rupee, automatically the amount of subsidy will get deducted and balance will be remitted. This smart contracts feature has a lot of scope and can reduce the government's and RBI's administrative functions in a big way. Basically, the e-rupee will come with an inbuilt feature where it has the ability to program or control transfers, such as triggering a payment only when a contract or condition is fulfilled. The simplest example of this could be giving your child pocket money which can't be spent on sweets. Other than that, government benefits in a numerous way. The most prominent one being the millions of unbanked Indians becoming financially included within the system. Also, monetary and payment system will become more efficient. It will help India transition towards a less cash-dependent economy. And from the government's point of view, will even help move citizens away from cryptos because of its decentralized capabilities. Also, did you know in the financial year 2022, 5,000 crores was spent on printing currency notes. Obviously, this cost will also be reduced along with other costs related to managing so much currency in India. Of course, there are so many questions regarding its security, scalability, recoverability, programmability, and more. And all these issues can only be solved by trial and error. RBI launched its pilot project of the digital rupee. The project for wholesale CBDC was started on 1st November, and for retail transactions, it was started on 1st December with 4 participating banks in 4 cities. Now, the thing is, I tried to purchase some e-rupee but ICICI Bank, one of the participating banks, couldn't give me any information on how to purchase it. And neither could I find much material on the internet guiding me how to purchase. So it's still a work in progress. Be that as it may, I think this payment solution is an ingenious one, world over, and congratulations to all those countries that are intent on their own CBDC. Ultimately though, it'll all depend on how RBI executes it and how they're able to convince ordinary citizens to use it. Because intent without implementation is no good. And the same applied for GST as well. The intent was good, but implementation was very hurried. And finally now, after 5 years of implementation, people are finally getting the hang of GST. And the government is able to benefit in terms of higher collections, which is crossing 1 trillion rupees every month. I hope the implementation of CBDC is more efficient and India can be a role model for the entire world. Thank you.